Give me some Ingram. I'm Jonathan Coachman. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, running back Mark Ingram, fresh off a big performance a weekend ago, as it'll be the Cincinnati Bengals as they get set to square off against the Baltimore Ravens. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor at M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Raven team as they get ready here. And they've lost 3 straight here, and it goes without saying, I guess, they could certainly use a win.
And how do they get a win? Because they've lost 3 straight, I think it's paramount that they get a fast, clean start to this game.
Meanwhile, for the Bengals here, they've got to be pleased with the start to this season. Obviously, a perfect 3-0.
3 good quality wins, too. It's got people in the locker room excited. They're thinking that this could be their year.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. The return man is Hill. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. So here come the Ravens now, ready to get the football for the first time. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback out of NC State. It's Phillip Rivers.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
The first down throw here for Rivers. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
And the former Heisman winner, this is Mark Ingram. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
On second down, Ingram. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Joey Bosa with the tackle for loss. How about that pedigree in his family?
Yeah, some good pedigree. Tell us about it, Mr. Davis.
Dad played in the NFL, first-round draft pick. Uncle was a first-round draft pick. He's got a brother coming behind him. But Joey Bosa, guy plays really, really hard and plays all aspects on defense.
Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now fourth down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And the Bengals will take over here, 1st and 10. A very good starting field position for the Bengals here as they come up 1st and 10. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. It'll be a pickup of 12 yards. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
Leopard! Leopard! Over!
Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And his first carry, he loses the football. And the Ravens have got it. Well, he's not the starter coming in, getting his first carry off the bench. That's not the way to earn more carries.
You have to stay in the game, even if you're not on the field, right? Stay mentally sharp, stay ready. And above all, when you get into the game, hold on to the football. Don't let the other team have it.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
On 1st and 10, Rivers. Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. The Raven passing game getting in sync, another first down.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find a soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do, because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
Rivers to throw it. He dumps it down to Ingram. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. He'll get the penalty yardage back exactly, 10 yards, as they'll get it to 2nd and 10.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
Ready? 380!
Again, it's Rivers. This will be caught at about the 5. They stopped short. Down at the 1. Had the great move, but couldn't get it all the way home. A gain of 7 that time. Second and goal.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
This is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Mark Andrews, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens have taken the early lead. You'd have to imagine for a team that's lost 3 straight games, scoring first in this first quarter has to feel pretty good.
That's feel great for them, and also it's a nice signal to the rest of the team, because we talk about complimentary football all the time. So they've now signaled to the defense, now signaled to the kicking game, hey, we're here to play in this one. We're going to do our part. Let's see if you guys will do the exact same, and we can break this losing streak.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you. A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
On second down, here's Mixon. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers put their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
On 3rd down, Mixon. Nice little juke. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Watching that, Barney.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Throwing right, and that's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A really good pickup of 28 yards. On 1st down, Finley. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Tony Jefferson. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
But no Texas start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at it. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with a football to begin quarter number 2. They're in the midst of a nice drive, but facing a 3rd and long here. Looking to throw. Finley. And he's going to go down again.
Well, certainly some... Teams are not intimidated by down and distance on defense, are they? 3rd and very long? Let's go get this guy again. Big-time pressure.
So on 4th down, on comes the left-footed punter, Kevin Huber, to punt it away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. And we shift our attention to Mark Ingram. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the 2nd quarter.
He doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. A gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Rivers. And incomplete on the deep ball.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're 1 to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And the Bengals will take over in terrific field position. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Mixon with a first down carry. Finding room to the 20. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A great play there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Bengals are an extra point away from tying up this football game.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
It's brought in here by Willie Snead. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down. They go play action here on first down. Oh, nearly a disaster there on the check down. But they'll get it back.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Well, they tried to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. Whatever he was doing in September, they're hoping that that carries over now to October because he was sensational last month.
He absolutely was, and we all know where it started, at the end of last season. right? All the offseason preparation, the weight workouts, the sprints, right? The vision that he had, what he was going to do this season. And, of course, it all came together with the rest of the team. Those big fellas up front, leverage, and, boy, are they getting downfield and creating extra blocks for him.
They really are. Everyone's been doing their job so far to create those holes.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Leopard! Over!
Here's a give to Mixon. A beautiful fake. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one's good for 35 yards on the ground and a first down.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle. If you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage, you got a chance to rumble. And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Detroit! Detroit! No. Check. Patriot! Patriot!
And the pitch goes to Mixon. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. Well, earlier this half, you were wondering how they were going to defend him. I think you used the term bottle him up at different levels. They've struggled to do that.
They certainly have, because when you see them approach, in order to bottle them up at different levels,
and he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Giovanni Bernard, his second touchdown on the season. And the Bengals are in for 6. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it's capped off by a 13-yard touchdown run. Bullock out now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Mark Ingram now gears up to help lead this offense back out there. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that?
The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Jordan Evans in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you. You change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
The Ravens on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 9. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
On third down, Rivers. There's a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Rivers on first down. Over the middle here to Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. First down, Rivers. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Andrews. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Rivers again. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. It'll be a pickup of 4. Good enough to earn him yet another first down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting bit.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Sean Lee. And he'll bring it all the way back just a yard or two shy of midfield.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball. And I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
No. Check. Patriot. Watch it now, Barney.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. Room to run inside the 40. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A great effort there with his 13th touchdown of the year and second of the game. And the Bengals strike quickly here for 6 points. Bullock good on the extra point, and it's now 21-7. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. Bullock out now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Phillip Rivers now gears up to take the offense back out there. And how does he rally the troops, so to speak? He's played well, but they're down big on the scoreboard. How does he get his guys going?
To make sure they understand it's not a me game, it's a team game. Everyone has to come together. Everyone has to up the level of play a little bit, including himself, and find a way to make some plays in order to give them a little bit of a spark and rally the team.
We'll see if they can indeed rally down big on the scoreboard right now. Rivers now 13 out of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Now a second down throw for Rivers. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. On third down, Rivers. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Andrews. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big third down conversion with a gain of 28.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around to make a play on the football.
He goes underneath to Ingram. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Sit! Delta! And hut!
Check 48 to the mic. Check 48.
Working out of the gun, Rivers. This will be caught by Brown. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, this will be a 41-yarder. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, this will be a 41-yarder. And Elliott puts this one through. And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A big play there. 75 yards. And the Bengals add on to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
Set, 380.
Rivers now on second down. Looking for Snead, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Sean Lee. Look at the dance of the juke.
Brandon, normally when you hear about guys making 2 interceptions in the game, you're thinking must be a free safety, maybe a corner. How about getting 2 picks out of one of your linebackers? Again, he's just in the right place at the right time. And that's another great.
And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. A great play there. Taking it in. And the Bengals use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
The dangerous Hill now to return. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now here come the Ravens. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side, because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Now flags come in. I think one of the Ravens got going a little early.
Offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. A false start hurts him there a bit. Backs him up to 2nd and 9. After the penalty, it's Ingram. And he'll be taken down right around the 27. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got just pin their ears back and get after him now.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
Rivers now to throw on first down. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Ready. 380. Hey, hot.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. It was Jordan Evans making the play defensively.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Hey, boys, we got 4. Ready. Hey, ground 80. Hot.
Second down, Rivers. And this is going to be incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
To throw on third down, Rivers. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 36. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They begin with a run by Mixon. Finding room inside the 40. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. A great effort there. 52 yards. And the Bengals just continue to pour it on. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Ingram again. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 4. Rivers now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Off the play fake here, Rivers. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Well, it's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. Rivers incomplete on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10.
Set.
They'll try to counter with Dixon. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Block the team!
Back to the ground, this time with Ingram. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting 3rd down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on 3rd and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on 3rd down.
Set 180!
They'll try to throw here. Rivers. He's got his man on the crossing route. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Raven passing game getting in sync. Another first down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
Set 180!
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Rivers. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Mark Andrews, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown. Out of the game, and the Ravens get a bit closer. Elliott good with a PAT, and that trims the lead a bit, but still standing at 26 points.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. So officially now a 1,000-yard campaign for him, but I don't think he's going to take his foot off the gas pedal.
Yeah, it's one of those thoughts, though, that creeps into your mind, because there is a little mini celebration over on the sidelines. Everybody, hey, job well done, over 1,000 already. But guaranteed, as you noted, someone's jumped in that huddle and said, a lot more to be done, guys. Let's not, would you say, take your foot off the pedal? Let's not do that right now. But there is that possibility as people can get self-satisfied. The greats do not. We'll find out what he's made of.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
No, check, Patriot! No, check, Patriot! Here we go! Over!
Back to Mixon on 1st down. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
No, check, Patriot!
To throw on second down, Finley. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you give them 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting them.
Back now in Baltimore. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4.
To Mixon. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them. But all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter.
And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. A great play there. Taking it in from 2 yards out, and the Bengals have got it on cruise control.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is one of our guys.
But she's singing, too.
Oh, she's singing. She's
on, like, the 5th tune at this point.
She left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
Ready, 380.
On first and 10, Rivers. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Throwing again, Rivers on second and 10. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
We saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a first and 10 at the 46. To the air again here, Rivers. Looking sideline, incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Rivers incomplete on first down. Here's 2nd and 10.
Tight is right. Watch tight. Tight is right.
Set. 390.
To throw again. Rivers. Caught right side at Snead. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Over the middle, complete. That's Ingram. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Jesse Bates. He's got the lane, and there he goes. The 20, 10, 5, and he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for a Bengals TD. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but if the ball's in the air, they treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest. So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. Now after the false start, here's 2nd and 7. From the shotgun, it's Rivers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Joey Bosa in there to get him for a loss of 5.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now Rivers. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. We'll call that a 47-yard punt, a return of just 3. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
They'll stay on the ground, mixing again. Finding some room at midfield. And finally taken down at the 44-yard line. That burst good for 20 and a 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
A toss play to Mixon, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. Bernard. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. A Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion, because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the fourth quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point.
And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Watch it now, Barney!
Now Joe Mixon. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. That one good for 12 yards. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
It seemed like the situation was 2nd and a mile to go for a first down, which screams what? Throw the football. You got to pass in order to try and pick up that kind of yardage. But in this case, they ran a tendency breaker, because the tendency is for defenses to be out there and be set up for a pass. So you break tendency and actually run the football. That changes everything, because if you're able to find a crease, you often have bigger guys working against smaller guys downfield. They picked up excellent yardage there to bring up a 3rd down.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now a toss play to Bernard. 11 more on that one and another first down.
Well, I'd say that run's pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, this offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage, giving them time to throw it, run it, do whatever they wanted. That's why there are points up on the board.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And with that scamper into the end zone, it breaks the single-game record for rushing touchdowns.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Every variety of run we wanted to see, we got to see. And a brand new record has been established today.
Extra point up and good by Bullock. And the lead will swell by 1 more. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Use that as ammo.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
A first down throw here for Rivers. And now here is another interception. He's picked off just shy of midfield. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Watch it now, Barney!
Once again, they run with Mixon. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
Over!
They toss to Mixon. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 17 and a Cincinnati first down.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be given a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And he will bring it out past the 20-yard line. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Cincinnati, that early momentum continues here as they move to 4-0. And they'll return home next week to take on the San Francisco 49ers. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And they'll try again next week at home against New England. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Now, let's take a minute to see how you can improve your team.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the San Francisco 49ers and the Cincinnati Bengals. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports, and there you get a look at Paul Brown Stadium on the banks of the Ohio River in Cincinnati. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the San Francisco 49ers and the Cincinnati Bengals. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gordon. To my left, Charles Davis. And, Charles, you focus on this Bengal team entering play. It's been all systems go in this first month. They're off to a 4-0 start.
And it's got folks believing that this is a team that's built to go all the way. You can't win the Super Bowl in September, but they're telling everyone that they're going to be there in the end.
On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, we're in October now, so everybody should be coming into form, shouldn't they?
They really should, and what you have now is a full routine established about what you want to get done and full focus on the season.
Now the Georgia Southern man, this is Jerick McKinnon. Some fancy footwork, but not much room to operate. Just up past the 25 and no further. Sean Lee, the Pro Bowler, there for the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They run with Breida. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. They run it with McKinnon. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Big Geno Atkins there to bring him down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And Matthews has it right side. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On the ground, this is Joe Mixon. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. Telvin Smith that time there to make the play.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it here with Bernard. A nice move gets him a few extra. Down just shy of his 20. The tackle there by Richard Sherman.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. Gets around him. He's got a first down and more past the 30. And all the way up to the 33-yard line. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. throwing on first down. Finley. And that is incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
On the toss, Mixon. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, to me, that's taking a big gamble defensively because that alignment you see, that's normally something you see down near the goal line. Because now, if they decide to go play action, something should be open there, and I think open big.
So maybe that's something that gets filed away for later.
I think without a doubt, you write it down, and if you see that look at a later date, go ahead and take your shot.
Watch him now, Barney.
They'll run. This is Bernard. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th.
And this is where an offensive lineman really earns a living. You're on your own side of the field, but you only need a few inches, and you saw the good blocking at the point of attack. That is a well-earned first down.
Mixon. The numbers for Mixon last week, just downright unbelievable. I mean, when you amass that many yards, I don't know what else to say.
Personally, I thought it was a game for the ages for him. Ripped off some long runs in that contest, didn't he?
He did indeed. Some very long runs, and that total, scary.
No, check, Patriot!
Now a carry for Bernard. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3.
Here we go.
Back to throw. Finley. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. They run for it with Mixon. Able to slither by. Denied on 4th down is Joe Mixon. And the 49ers are... to get the football back. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. On play action, now Garoppolo. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Jordan Evans in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy is disrupting your running game.
And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. Carl Lawson in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, They would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. And we check the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
On second down, here's Mixon. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with a football to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down. A toss left, Mixon. Flashy little move, but unable to reach the 40. And the tackle there by Quan Alexander.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
And some room to work. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. A Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there.
The good old toss play. And this time they go to the left side, so give a lot of credit to the offensive line. Center, guard, tackle, able to seal that side. But the guy that we don't give enough credit to, wide receivers. They have to do a great job of blocking downfield. Otherwise, that play can be spilled in the backfield. In this case, everyone handled their responsibilities, and they picked up really nice yardage.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They'll run with Mixon, and he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
I know every offense wants to start their snaps closer to the goal line, but it's actually harder to throw the ball in those situations. You throw into that tight coverage, you see what happens. Hard to get the ball in there.
Not enough space there. Lucky maybe that it wasn't intercepted. Here's Mixon, and he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. A great effort there. His 19th touchdown now on the season, and the Bengals are in for 6.
But he decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times, that's a passing play.
And the kicker, this has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
Bullock out now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
That'll go as a loss of 5. A false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. Now Garoppolo on the bootleg. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Joey Bosa. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to...
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off at the 13. And they're going to take possession of the football inside the 15 at the 14-yard line. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same, and he is paying it off in a big...
And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 20 on the year, and the Bengals are able to grow their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard. The 49ers getting set to trot out there. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Garoppolo to throw on 2nd down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First target, first catch, and a first down.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. He's going to air one out. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. That goes for a gain of 31. Nothing conservative about that play call. You said earlier in the quarter you wanted to see them open things up, maybe take some shots downfield. There you go.
Yeah, that one was successful. But even if they're not successful, when you take those shots downfield, they've got to back off a little bit, loosen up a little bit on defense, and give you a little bit more room if you want to run the football.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Open Manus Pettis, it's complete. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield. This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
Well, they've already allowed 3 sacks in this first half. Now a holding penalty.
So I think drastic measures had to be taken, right? The regular way was not working. He was getting hit almost every snap, it felt like. They had to try and keep him upright.
A dump down to McKinnon. Oh, and now he bowls him over. They'll give him a dozen on the pitch and catch, but now they're up against a 3rd and goal. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Now, that's something of a pick-me-up. The offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it. Those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. Shifts by him. Ooh, with a juke. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. He's up over 1,200 yards now on the season. Had a touchdown on that last drive as well. Things continuing to trend in the right direction for this offense, but specifically, Charles, this running game.
And it all comes back to one word, doesn't it? Cohesion. Because you have to have that. Center, guards, tackles, tight ends. Some of the wide receivers being involved. Maybe a lead runner at times. Maybe a fullback. But all in all, those X's and O's on the grease board that look so nice, that turns into a jumble in real life. And these guys have to know what to do on the run, on the move. They've done it well for them all year long.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Looking to throw. Finley. Wide open receiver complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Cincinnati after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Back to throw. Finley. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. In for the score. And the Bengals add on to their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well-organized, well-coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going with that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to...
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Joey Bosa in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On 2nd down, here's Garoppolo. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Carl Lawson, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
This is Breida, and he'll be taken down for a loss back at the 3. And now the Bengals are going to call another timeout as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Oh, they're on him too quick. Oh, and this is going to wind up a safety. But we say it all the time, offense, defense, don't forget about special teams. Big punt block there.
And how many coaches have told us if we make a big play on special teams, if we find a way to score, whether it's on the play or later, 90+% of the time. We win the game.
Just don't hold them to those numbers.
No,
though.
we haven't quantified it yet, but they believe it, and we have seen it happen many, many times in just that manner.
Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. He's in his own second quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard game.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for. But he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark?
It really has, and that never has to shift because it's in a game. It's a 1,000-yard mark. I'm wondering, since we've gone from 12 to 14 to 16 games, maybe we need to up that a little.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Finley. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. A big play there just before halftime. 54 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Over.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. This clearly the final play of the half, but no field goal attempt. They're going for it with 3 seconds remaining.
Watch him now, Barney.
The final shot before break. Finley. This is caught. And with a clock reading zeros, he is into the end zone. What an exclamation mark to the end of this second quarter.
Indeed. Well, my education continues in this game, I've got to tell you, because there's not an analyst in the world that would have said pass up the field goal.
Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. So we've reached halftime here in the Queen City, and it's the Bengals leading this one. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's going to wind up bringing this one inside the 45-yard line.
Now, that's the kind of return that warms the heart of a special teams coach. He'll be pushing us next time, Brandon, to make sure his guys are introduced in the starting lineups. These guys have such an influence on every game. The unsung heroes, remember, they have their own meetings, their own practice time, heck, their own spot on the bench in order to be ready to play each and every week.
Mixon will get it to start the second half. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
On the toss, Bernard. Open space inside the 10. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Giovanni Bernard, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals just continue to pour it on.
Offensive line coaches always tell their guys, if we score touchdowns, that means we get to the end zone first. That's exactly what those blockers did, clearing the way for their back.
Bullock out now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start. Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
One of the things that really impressed me about Joey Bosa is that he doesn't sacrifice the run game trying to get sacks. This guy really knows how to hold the point of attack. Great leverage, and then goes and sheds people and makes plays.
And he fires one that's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Here's Bullock now for the extra point. Bullock good on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The 49ers offense making its way back out there. And fresh off the pick 6, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? They run once more with McKinnon. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. Got his target, Samuel. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Carl Lawson in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Now Garoppolo throwing on 2nd, and that is incomplete. He was trying to get it to Jerick McKinnon there, and now it's 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
On 3rd and long, it's Garoppolo. Can't get away, and he's taken down. Carl Lawson in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Well, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of it. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. He's already hit pay dirt twice. He's up over 100 yards. He is feeling good.
He's just zipping along today. Everything coming together for him. It's that type of a day that you see a back just got to have a grin on his face every time his number is called, because he doesn't feel like there are going to be any lost yardage plays. Nothing but big-time positive runs.
Making the sideline grin as well. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Again, it's Mixon. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one. Maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
On 3rd down, Finley. Wide open receiver, complete. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A big gain of 31 on 3rd down.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. To throw on 3rd down, Finley. And this is caught at the end. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he's got the defense so much on their heels, got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover this guy, and what type of coverage can we put out there?
And he's got his big tight end, Eifert, and it's a Bengal touchdown. Tyler Eifert, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bengals have got it on cruise control. What a great weapon. So often, such a big mismatch.
And there's no route he can't run. You name it, he's going to do it. And he's a matchup nightmare for the defense. No matter who they put on him, he's going to win the battle.
Bullock out now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times.
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Carl Lawson in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
20! 180!
They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Jordan Evans in there to get him his second sack now in the afternoon.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Play action. Garoppolo. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. The 40. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, 49ers. A big play there. 91 yards. And the 49ers able to get this back to some measure of respectability. Gold able to tack on the extra point. So they do get one score back, but still a long way to go here in the third quarter. Gold now out to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. He's up over 100 yards, and he'll be looking to get in the end zone again.
Has a tremendous nose for it, doesn't he? The ability to pile up yardage and find the end zone, that's the combination you want in your runner.
Yeah, it's a combination any coach wants, and we'll see if he can find that end zone once more. The pass rush specialist, D. Ford, in on the stop.
Yeah, baby! Yeah! Over!
Again, it's Mixon. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Back now in Cincinnati. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Detroit! Detroit!
They go play action here on first down. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. And that one results in 35 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Mixon with a first down carry. Sharp move, but can't find much space. Dropped just inside the 20. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Now Bernard. Bernard churning, and he lost the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding on to it, that was noted. Hey, make sure you get a little extra attention to him. Get after the football. He's dropped it the last couple of games.
He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the 4th quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production, but how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started.
And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and they're going to have a 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
A good pickup there, 26 yards. Garoppolo now, 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Here we go. Black 80!
Working from the gun, Garoppolo. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 15 more. There, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 43.
120! 180!
Garoppolo looks to throw once more. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Carl Lawson in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
120! 180!
Now whistles here, and I think one of the big boys for the 49ers might have jumped.
False start, offense.
So that'll back him up 5. And they'll try again here, 1st and goal after the false start.
Back 80! By 20!
Now it's Breida. And he stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
Every team we ever talk to that continues to run the ball in a game, even when they haven't had much success, all talks about attrition, don't they? If you keep running it, eventually good things are likely to happen. It's been a hard go in this game today, hasn't it?
Yeah, this defense, they met pretty much every challenge in front of them this afternoon.
They're still trying to run the ball, but they're not finding much space.
Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to 3rd and goal.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. A bad time for a false start penalty as they're backed up now for 3rd and goal.
By 20! By 20!
Here's McKinnon. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 12 yards is the pickup there. And that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal.
This offense bent the defense in their long drive downfield, but once they got within sight of the goal line, the defense went to don't break mode and is stiffened.
And Gold is able to put it through. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
They'll stay on the ground, Mixon again. And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. And let's listen in on the call.
Holding, offense.
You can see this quite a bit on running plays with the guys out wide. A lot of times, though, it doesn't get caught.
You're exactly right, because it's away from the play usually, so a lot of it goes undetected. But I know this will surprise you. I coach some receivers in the offseason. We work a lot on hand placement and blocking downfield. Might want to take that course.
And down he goes. The 49ers get there.
It's a team game, but sometimes individuals do stand out, don't they? How about that for a twofer? Tackle for the loss on the running play on the previous down, and then comes right back and gets a sack.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Watch it now, Barney!
Here's a give to Mixon. And now Mixon hit, and all the ball is out. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Here's Kevin Huber now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, They need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
There's Garoppolo to throw. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, second down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
And the pitch goes to Mixon. Nifty move. This time a spin. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first. They've got two more to use here in the final stages. The Bengals hoping Mixon improves on the numbers from his rookie year. He's back there again on first down. The toss play to Mixon. A little juke. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. It's Mixon on the counter. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Now the Bengals going to signal for their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Two first downs have them up to the 41 now for 1st and 10.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to look deep down the field. That's caught at the 25. They give him a gain of 38. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. On first down, Finley. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Up big, and they go for two, and they get it.
I remember being in high school and seeing an article in the paper where a local columnist had said, why are we fighting over sportsmanship and running up the score? Just run it up on everybody and deal with it. Some people just don't care that way, and obviously this coach feels the exact same way.
So that article was saying the defense should be able to stop them.
That's what they're trying to say. Hey, if you don't want it to happen, stop them. Otherwise, quit whining about it.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Room here to run. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah,
then
right.
with the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking, they think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Bengals, they improved to 5-0 now on the young season. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Buffalo Bills next week. Meanwhile, for the Niners, they can't quite seem to turn things around as they fall into 2-4 now on the year. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Seattle Seahawks. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Now, let's take a minute to see how you can improve your team.